All right, everybody. Hey, welcome back to Separation Nation. We got a lot of things going on here today, and a lot of new products coming out with our White Buffalo. We've got some of the hats sitting here. If you're watching the podcast on YouTube, you can see. So, a lot of new product in development right now. What we call attitude apparel, swag, a lot of things that's being created. And so, anyway, we're excited about it. I've got, of course, the new version of the logo. We've got some different versions. I've got the hat on you see here. This is great hat, OD green. We've got it with the black mesh net in the back. Of course, we got the camo that you've seen if you're watching it here. And then we've also got just a solid black. So we've got these in the classic snapbacks, that flat bill, if that's kind of your thing, or if you prefer the more rounded bill on the cap, kind of like a ball cap style. We've got that too. And so we want you to go check it out. You go to agentsresourcegroup.com, and if you'll click on the ARG gear button, again, that's ARG gear at agentsresourcegroup.com. Everything is online there that's been developed so far. And again, we've got some exciting new items to just keep up with. Check the store periodically, check our social. Of course, if you're following us on social, you'll see when we post and announce these new items and pieces of apparel as they are released. So anyway, it's great. It's a great attitude apparel line. We love it. People are beginning to order it. We're shipping stuff out all over, and we want you to have some of it and get some of it and help us represent and rep Separation Nation and our philosophy of the White Buffalo. And so as we've been sharing more from our online store through social media, I know us, our staff members, my wife had told me the other day, somebody else that come up to her just out and about in public said, "Hey, tell me, what is this White Buffalo thing? We like the logo. It looks cool. We like what y'all are doing, but we just, what is it? What's it about?" So that is a philosophy that we done episode 5, not long after we started the podcast. We talked about the story of White Buffalo and the philosophy, the concept behind that. And it's really a philosophy and a concept that we have adopted, that we've operated with, that we feel has helped make us and our companies as successful as they are. And it's just a great kind of a pictorial. It's something that's visual, just to help represent and get the message of the philosophy out. And so we're going to talk about that today. We figured it'd be, apropos to basically revisit the story of the White Buffalo and just some personal experiences and stories, since we do have a lot of new product coming out. And this will be something a little more recent in the queue for folks to go back and listen to, that we can point them to and say, hey, this is what it's all about. And of course, we're probably going to take this episode out. I feel confident, and cut some clips and different things out of it to just put out there in kind of a more smaller package format, video and audio, just to help begin to communicate what this brand, the White Buffalo, is about. So John's going to kind of kick it off today and talk a little bit more in depth about that.
Well, one thing we need to probably start with is, before we kind of explain the White Buffalo and what's behind it, just a couple things I want to address is what the White Buffalo does not stand for and what it isn't. I've been approached by a couple people. I know I was working out at the gym a few weekends ago, and I had on the shirt just like Justin has on, and a guy walked up to me and said, "Yeah, that's some good stuff, ain't it?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" I thought he might have been listening to the podcast. But apparently that's a strand of cannabis that you can purchase. It's very good from what I hear.
The sticky icky.
The devil's lettuce. So he said, "Yeah, man, you can go down to Tampa and get that at the dispensary." And I was like, but it was a conversation. So I kind of explained the meaning behind it and why we chose that and why we use that. And I kept saying unique and rare. And he said, "Well, I just want to agree with you on one thing. it is unique and rare. And so, and I was in Journeys buying my son some shoes and had the shirt on. And the guy walks up to me and said that there's a bar in Tampa or Sarasota or somewhere called the White Buffalo. And he said, I didn't know they had merch. I said, well, they do now. I didn't. So, there's a couple things that, when you hear White Buffalo, well, we definitely didn't make up White Buffalo. I mean, it's actually a buffalo. It's a rare thing that happens with buffalo or bison, however you want to say it. 1 out of every 10 million. That's how rare it is. 1 out of every 10 million, according to the National Bison Association. 1 out of every 10 million buffaloes is born white. And it's just a rare, very rare and unique thing. And it actually became folklore or legend or some mythical type creature because it was very rare that you ever even saw a white buffalo. As a matter of fact, if you do the research, you'll see that just on a few occasions has it even been documented that an actual white buffalo even existed. So the whole premise behind the idea of white buffalo and why we've kind of adopted it at Separation Nation is because it's just so rare. It's so different. It's so out of the box. It's so unique. And, we talk about when we named the podcast Separation Nation, the premise behind that or the idea behind that was what are the key separators that separate super successful people in whatever field you're in, if you're competing in a sport, there's only certain NFL football players that you actually know their names or only certain NBA players that you know their names unless you're just a super sports geek. But there's something that separates Michael Jordan from everybody else. We watched the documentary that just came out. A lot of people's watched it. I can't think of the name of it now. But it's real good. I watched 5 or 6 episodes, but there was certain things that separated Michael Jordan from everybody else, even Scottie Pippen and Charles Barkley and all the different ones that you would see on these documentaries and Dennis Rodman and all. Jordan was unique. And if you study his life, sure, some of it was raw talent. Some of it was just giftedness. He was born, with certain gifts and attributes. But those aren't the things that we want to study because that's not the things that we can help. Or, you can't help how tall you are, how fast you are. But there are certain things that separate you from everybody else that you can help, like work ethic. Getting up in the morning at a certain time, going to bed at a certain time, outworking people, reading, studying, doing all of these things that most people quit doing when they get out of school. Successful people keep doing them. They keep learning. They keep reinventing themselves. They keep doing the things that they need to do. And these are separators. And these are the things that make you rare and unique in your field or any field or industry that you're in. And so we've kind of adopted the white buffalo because the white buffalo is so unique and so rare that, the biggest thing we talk about on here and teach, if you will, is to be unique, be rare, find those things that separate you. And it's become kind of like a mentality or a mindset for us. And, if I go into the gym on, a particular day, I keep to myself most of the time, don't really talk. I'm in there to get things done and get out. Usually, that's the first part of my day or the last part of my day, and I want to get it done and get on to the next part. But if you go into a gym, you look around and you always see that one person that stands out. They're there every day. They actually get results. They actually do things differently than everybody else. They don't stand around and talk. They're not always on their phone, but they're down to business. They eat right. They do all of the things that they need to do to be successful in that, area of their life. And if you will, that's the white buffalo of the gym. That's that particular person, unique, that's, separator in any industry. If you think of cell phones, you think of Apple. Apple's the white buffalo of cell phones. They're different. They're unique. They put it all together. They put music on there. They put movies on there. Everything's there. And they did it differently than everybody else. And so there's certain people out there that imitate, and then there's people that innovate. You can imitate or you can innovate. You can be like everybody else. You can run with the pack. You can have a pack mentality. You can run with a herd, have a herd mentality, but the thing about the separators and the white buffaloes is they don't blend in with the herd. They don't run with the herd. they don't think like everybody else. And when I say that, they don't think like everybody else, and they won't allow you to tell them how or what to think. They're going to think for themselves. That's the biggest problem I see right now in America. People's quit thinking for themselves. They think how the Republicans tell them to think how the Democrats tell them to think the way their mom and daddies told them to think. We've got to learn to think for ourselves. We've got to learn to take our ideas and run with them. And if it's different from anything we've ever seen or heard, then guess what? That's innovative. That's what the White Buffalo's about. Something else. It has nothing to do with race or color. Listen, it's not unique to be white. It's not unique to be non-white. Most people in America that you see, they're either white or non-white. It has nothing to do with color. Even though we say white buffalo, it's about being rare. It's about being different. Listen, I'm going to say it again. 1 in 10 million buffalo are born white. Most of them are brown or black or some other color. It's rare and unique. It's not rare and unique to see a white person. It's not rare and unique to see a non-white person. There's millions of people of all different colors. It's rare and unique on the inside. How you think, your mindset, how you talk, how you do things, how you operate in your business, how you dream, how you envision things, your work ethic. All these things are unique, and that's what the White Buffalo's about. And that's why we've caught on, and it's something that sticks with people. You know, we like Justin said, we have people ask us all the time, tell us about the White Buffalo. I want to hear about the White Buffalo. And we're selling, you know. We printed up these hats. I didn't know if we'd ever sell any of them. I thought we'd probably have to give them away, and I ain't crazy about giving stuff away. But we're selling them. We're having to get new colors and new designs and new styles, and got different things coming out. And it's exciting because it's something that I've never really heard anybody talk about, other than you can listen to episode 5 and hear about kind of the first place I heard it from. I'm not going to get deep into that, but you know, it's something that just kind of we grabbed a hold of and we talk about. We wear the socks. Our producer Aaron's got the socks on right now, and just makes you feel good. You know, you think about it. I go to the gym at the end of the day or at the beginning of the day, and I don't really feel like, you know, being there. And I think about going through the motions or whatever. And then I think about that White Buffalo, and I think about, hey, are you going to be the White Buffalo today? Are you going to go after the White Buffalo today? Or are you just going to be average? You're just going to be ordinary. A lot of times, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, still got plenty of work to do, but I want to go home. I want to just relax. I want to chill, want to take a nap, just want to quit or skip a Friday. Think about it, you know, well, you're going to be like everybody else. Nobody else works on Friday, or a lot of other people took off at lunch today. A lot of other people are playing golf or doing this or that. But I want to be different. I want to be unique. The main reason is because I want different and unique results. I don't want to be like everybody else. See, another thing about the buffalo is a symbol of provision. The Native Americans, that was their way of surviving for years and years and for centuries. They got all of their food from the buffalo. They got all of their clothing from the buffalo. They even made the houses that they lived in, the teepees and everything, from the furs of the buffalo. They even made their weapons from the buffalo. It was a sign of provision. But a white buffalo was something so rare and so unique that it was above and beyond just basic provision. There's been books written about the white buffalo. There was a movie, never seen it, but I saw an advertisement, and kind of in doing some of this research, I saw where there was a movie made about Wild Bill Hickok hunting down a white buffalo that kind of tormented him in his dreams. And I was reading about it. It's kind of interesting. I may try to find that on Amazon or something and watch it. But it was something that was just kind of sought after. It wasn't something you went after for provision. It was more like a prize, or more like something that you wanted to have because it was rare. And, you know, Separation Nation's all about that. It's not just about provision. Sure, we want to provide for our families. Sure, we want to meet our necessities and pay our bills and do these different things. But we're here to appeal to the people like us that want to go above and beyond just provision, or just a means to an end, or just to try to survive life. But we're looking for those people, and we're speaking to those people that want to go past basic provision and want to go a little higher and a little farther, and find that rare, find that white buffalo, find that thing that most people would never find because they're not willing to look and to search and to hunt year after year after year after year, maybe even decades in, until they finally come across that prized possession, that thing that has eluded so many people, and they finally get it into their grasp, and it's way above and beyond provision. That's another symbolism of hunting the white buffalo. And so, if any of that makes sense to you, that's what it is, and that's where it comes from, and that's what it's all about.
Well, to quote the American Dream, the great Dusty Rhodes, if you're going to cruise around the block, why not in a Cadillac, baby? And so, that's kind of on my mind. I was watching some old, back when wrestling was wrestling, some old wrestling clips last night. And, but what Dusty Rhodes meant by that is if you got to go out and go around the block anyhow, why not get some attention while you do it? And money follows attention. And if you don't believe that, then you come hang around us a little while and let us help indoctrinate you with some of the white buffalo philosophy. But to me, that's what it means. It's about standing out. It's a little bit about being flashy. I mean, how you gonna get somebody's attention if you broke, busted, and disgusted your whole life? If you're not doing anything of achievement, if you're not accomplishing anything, and so the greatest joy and fulfillment in life comes from achievement. And when we talk about the white buffalo, I grew up hearing about the white buffalo, and you can go back and listen to episode 5. John mentioned that, but I grew up around an uncle that was very influential, especially earlier on in my life, and I just remember being in the gym with him as a kid and working out, and and that's what he always talked about, is he was going to run on that treadmill till he saw the white buffalo. Or I remember being on the bench and benching, and he'd say, "No, you need, I've done 12 reps or whatever," and he's supposed to take the bar, and he'd be like, "No, I'm going to get another 3 now. Get another 3 more. We're going to see that white buffalo." And what he meant half the time, I think, was he was going to make you train and strain until you about just blacked out and saw nothing but a white buffalo. So that I grew up around that, not really understanding the deep philosophy, but just being able to understand by watching him in life, and especially in the gym, kind of just be crazy and work out and push it to the limit. And so that was it was a pictorial deal for me growing up to understand, well, that's what it means to chase the white buffalo. Means you're going to go for broke. You're going to put in the extra time. You're going to do the work, put in the work. You're going to do the extra reps, and you're going to go build something amazing that stands out, and not just stands out, but draws the attention of other people and inspires them. It's about inspiring other people, as we talked about 2 episodes ago on episode 29, to be, do, and have more. And so if you want to be, do, and have more, you have to go the extra mile and understand that a lot of times there's no traffic on that extra mile. But that's the separator. That's the separating factor, is being able to just have the stick-to-itiveness and the longevity to keep going when other people quit, and to want more for yourself, for your life, to wake up each and every day chasing what's the best version of you. And so when we talk about the white buffalo, this is what we mean by this concept. And you got anything else you want to add to that, John?
Yeah, and just one other thing, just to kind of finish up on how rare that is, and then I want to talk about me training with your uncle too, and because that's where I first heard that. And on October 7th, 1876, a buffalo hunter named J. Wright Moore killed a white buffalo near Snyder, Texas. They built a park called the White Buffalo Park there. That's how unique this was. It's just such a unique sighting. And he kept the hide from that white buffalo his entire life, and finally they retired it. You can still go today to Snyder, Texas, and see this hide. People that have followed the myth and the stories of the white buffalo, the legend of the white buffalo, still will come to see this. But it says, history says that this was such a rare thing to have a white buffalo hide that Teddy Roosevelt offered. Now, this is 1876. He offered $5,000 for the hide. Man wouldn't sell it. That's how rare it was. Because a buffalo hunter, in South Georgia, we have white-tailed deer, If you shoot a doe, you put food in the freezer. It's for provision, or it's because we got an old saying around here: if it's brown, it's going down, or whatever. But there's that rare hunter. He's not just going hunting. He's not just going out on the weekends. He's not just going out, a couple times just say he went hunting. But there's serious people that it's a year-round deal for them.
Obsession.
And they always have, but it's kind of like we've said many times before, your obsessions come your possessions. You have to be obsessed about things. I'm not an obsessed. I like to deer hunt, turkey hunt, really like the quail hunt, but I'm not obsessed with any of it. There are certain things I am obsessed with, and that's what I put my time and energy and entire focus into. But for someone who was that obsessed with a buffalo, to actually see, and not only see, but to be able to shoot a white buffalo and to claim that prize, there's no amount of money that would be enough for him to give up that. Even Teddy Roosevelt, someone that powerful and that influential, to offer him this amount of money, which would be thousands and thousands of $1,000s in today's time. But that's how rare and how unique it is. And just kind of getting back to your story, working out with your uncle, and him saying, I remember being, and I told this in episode 5, but being in the gym with him, working out in Savannah, and I was on the treadmill, and he's on the treadmill, had his red bandana on, just rolled out of the bed, put the bandana on, and showed up at the gym, and we was getting after it. It was probably 5:30 in the morning. And he had got there before me, and I heard for 30 minutes about that. I promise you, how he had got there before me, and he had been there an hour, and that's why I'm drenched in sweat, and that's why I look like I look, and you look like you look, and that's just life, but truth is, he probably been there 10 minutes, but he was going to give me a hard time. And I give you a story about that. I was on the treadmill one time with him, and we were 45 minutes in, soaked in sweat. He was on the treadmill, I was on another treadmill. And at 45 minutes, when I'm about to die, wanting to get off, he comes over and puts the incline on 8. He said, "What'd you have that incline on?" I said, 4. He puts it on 8. And then he looks at me and he said, "Nah." And he puts it on 12. And he said, "My wife runs on 8 and she'll do it for 50 minutes. So I got to do 12. So I go till I about die and whatever." And then he's about, "You going to quit? You want to quit?" And they just wearing me out about it. And then we get off of it, and finally we've had enough, and I probably quit before he did or whatever. And he said, "Yeah, you almost saw the white buffalo, but you didn't quite get there." And I remember walking out, and his daughter comes in and said, "What are y'all doing? Y'all look like you're about to die." And I told her the story. I said, "Well, he said your mama runs on that treadmill at 8, so I had to do 12. And she looked at me, she said, "Mama ain't never been on that treadmill." That's my story on that one. So, I mean, it was just, great guy, push you and always to be better. And that's what it's about, man. Pushing yourself, pushing each other to always be better, to always do better, whatever it takes, It's and we talk about working out a lot because with this whole philosophy I was introduced to it, you was introduced to it in a gym setting, whatever. But you got a lot of people that lift weights, and exercise, do cardio, do the things they need to do. And then you got your people that eat right, and you got everybody. But from time to time, you find that rare person. They get the diet right. They get the cardio right. They get the resistance training right. They get the whole thing right, and they stay disciplined. They stay committed. They're not just in it to lose 20 pounds for the summer or to put on a little bulk or whatever, but they create a lifestyle out of it. And the same way with business. They don't just get fired up over a seminar or read a book or have a New Year's resolution. We've talked about that on one of our podcasts, but they adopt a new philosophy of life. And that's what a white buffalo is. It's a philosophy of life. It's a mantra. It's a call to battle. It's to say, "Hey, look, this is what my life's going to be about. I'm going to be that rare person that gets up at the same time every day, that has the rituals, that has the things in place, and I'm going to strive day in and day out to be a better version of myself. I'm going to be rare. I'm not going to be like everybody else. I'm not going to think like everybody else. I'm not going to do like everybody else. I don't just want to compete in my industry, but I want to dominate in my industry." And that's what it's about, and that's what it's all, that's why we do it, and we're going to probably be talking about the white buffalo 10 years from now.
Well, we hope this has, brought some light and attention to all the questions we're asking. And again, we're going to continue to get this out there to everybody. We're asking you, again, this costs us money. We don't make money to do this podcast, but we're trying to get a message out. We're trying to help people to be, do, and have more. And we want you to be part of the Separation Nation. We want you to be part of the nation, part of the revolution, part of the movement to help people and just rattle the cage, make some noise in life. Take, like I quoted a minute ago, take the Cadillac around the block, get some attention, show people that there's more to life than getting up every day, struggling, paying bills until you die. There's more to it. You're put on this earth to prosper, to achieve. The seeds of greatness are inside of you. That's the message we're trying to get out to people. And listen, go to agentsresourcegroup.com. You'll see all the new items that are on there actually be going up this evening. Several of the new SKUs here, the new pieces of apparel are going to be put up this evening. So by the time you hear this podcast here in a few days, it'll all be there. And again, got great new exciting things that are coming out. So just stay aware, check periodically. And listen, also, if you're listening to the podcast, to help us get the message out, if you'll take a picture or a video with any of the Separation Nation gear on, okay, and particularly the White Buffalo, and post that and tag Agents Resource Group in that post, we're going to send a free gift, a free piece of apparel out to you just for helping get the message out, okay? But make sure you tag us when you post it, and we'll get something sent out to you in the mail for helping us at Separation Nation get this message out about the White Buffalo. Listen, we hope this has, again, brought an understanding to you about what we're doing, what we're about with this line and the coming lines, and we'll see you again here next time on Separation Nation.